If he was getting smashed in these debates, and then because he was getting smashed, he decided, I don't know what I'm talking about.
But how does that argument make sense? Because the order in the Old Testament is to kill babies as well and children. Do the babies understand miracles? Do the children, like, are they responsible for recognizing the truth of Moses' message?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, we are together and we're going to be reacting to David Wood versus Daniel Haqiqatjou. Let's get right into it.
Nation. That's not fair. You want to criticize Islam and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ for Islamic law and warfare and governance? Fine. But what's your brilliant alternative? Look, it's easy for Christians to criticize Muhammad ﷺ for violence and intolerance because the reality is setting up laws and establishing governance is never a peaceful process. No matter how good and pure a person you are, there's always evil people that are going to oppose and fight you. So what are you going to do? Are you going to give up establishing just laws on earth and allow evil satanic forces to rule?
If ISIS is the good in this world and the Western civilization is the evil, you would have a point. If Jesus Christ, as understood in popular Christian theology and ancient Greek philosophy, is the evil in this world and Mohammed and radical Islam is the good, you would have a point. If human rights is the evil in this world and Sharia is the good, you would have a point. Yet, quite the opposite. It's true. So, thank you for making an argument against Islam. Because your logic is accurate. We need to thrive for good. Yet, your premises are wrong. What? ISIS is the good, Sharia is the good, Mohammed is the good, and Jesus Christ, as portrayed in the New Testament, is the evil. Ancient Greek philosophers are the evil. The pagans, the evil. So the father of moral philosophy, Socrates, is the evil. And radical Islam is the good. Yeah, right. Please continue.
Or are you going to fight back, which means resorting to violence? Because those are the only two options. What's so bizarre from Christians is that they criticize the Prophet Muhammad for this. They criticize him for violence, but that violence is inevitable for anyone who wants to establish a just society in the vision of God Almighty.
Of course, even that is not true. Guys, I won't cut the video every time Daniel Haqiqatjou says a bullshit, because that will be every 3 seconds. So, there are many other ways to protect good against evil without resorting to violence. Okay, for example, this debate, dominating with ideas, the Jesus Christ way, okay, dominating with ideas. Okay. Dominating with peaceful political means. For example, banning mosques, that's not violence. Promote education against Islam. Dominating with technology and economy, Muslim countries, and essentially democratize them. In other words, install democracy. There are other ways except violence to protect good. Okay, so you just made a false dichotomy. Okay, as I said, guys, I won't stop every time Daniel Haqiqatjou says a wrong thing, because I need to stop the video every 3 seconds. This idiot literally cannot say 10 words without making an error.
Long, and the guy thinks his first impression of his revelations was that they were demonic. He has to be talked out of that by his wife and her cousin. He tried repeatedly to commit suicide. Whenever something was going wrong, he would try to hurl himself off a mountain.
David Wood said that Muhammad thought he was demon possessed when he received his first revelations. That's completely accurate, according to Islamic sources. And Muhammad had suicidal thoughts. That's again completely accurate from Islamic sources. they say that's a broken chain of bullshit. Okay, so let's see the sources.
I am your host, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon me. And with me now is the one who gave me all of my revelations, all of my special moral privileges, including the right to violate my own commands. He is the angel Gabriel. So happy to see you again.
Happy to be here, Prophet Muhammad. And may I add, well done, my most faithful servant.
I also can't breathe.
Let's read this story in Sahih al-Bukhari 3 Ibn Saq p. 106. Okay, that's Sahih Bukhari.
The angel caught me, forcefully, and pressed me so hard that I could not bear it any more. He then released me and again asked me to read, and I replied, I do not know how to read, whereupon he caught me again and pressed me a second time till I could not bear it any more. He then released me and asked me again to read, but again I replied, I do not know how to read, or what shall I read? Thereupon he caught me for the third time and pressed me and then released me and said, Read, in the name of your Lord, who has created all that exists. Then Allah's apostle returned with the inspiration, his neck muscles twitching with terror till he entered upon Hadijah and said, Cover me. Cover me. They covered him till his fear was over and then he said, O Hadijah, what is wrong with me? Then he told her everything that had happened and said, I fear that something may happen to me. But after a few days Waraka died and the divine inspiration was also paused for a while. And the Prophet became so sad as we have heard that he intended several times to throw himself from the tops of high mountains. And every time he went up the top of a mountain in order to throw himself down, Gabriel would appear before him and say, O Muhammad, you are indeed Allah's apostle in truth, whereupon his heart would become quiet and he would calm down and would return home.
Muhammad was a victim of black magic. Muhammad, the greatest man who ever lived, according to Islam, was a victim of black magic. If you got a hair from his hairbrush, you could mess him up, right? Yeah. You could take him out. And this is just amazing, right? The most spiritually powerful man of his time. Yeah. And let me get a hair from his hairbrush and give it to the magician down the street if I really want to do some damage to him. Let me read two passages here. There are plenty. I'll read two from Sahih al-Bukhari, Islam's most trusted source on the life of Muhammad. Sahih al-Bukhari, number 3175. Aisha narrated, once the Prophet was bewitched so that he began to imagine that he had done a thing which in fact he had not done. Notice, she doesn't say, well, he became forgetful in his old age or something. This was actually a magic spell. He had a spell cast over him that was tampering with his memory. Interesting stuff. So you could actually cast a spell on Muhammad. We have more detail in Sahih al-Bukhari 5765. Aisha narrated, magic was worked on Allah's apostle so that he used to think that he had had sexual relations with his wives while he actually had not. Then one day he said, O Aisha, do you know what Allah has instructed me concerning the matter I asked him about? Two men came to me, and one of them sat near my head, and the other sat near my feet. The one near my head asked the other, what is wrong with this man? The latter replied, he is under the effect of magic. The first one asked, who has worked magic on him? The other replied, Labid bin al-Asam, a man from Bani Zarek who was an ally of the Jews and was a hypocrite. The first one asked, what material did he use? The other replied, a comb, and the hair stuck to it.
We also have the satanic verses, Muhammad revealing revelations from Satan. Okay, so we also have the story that Allah sent two angels to teach magic to people. So those are all over the place in Islamic sources.
So think about this, my friends.
So, you young Muslim idiots, brain-dead idiots, okay, all the sources David Wood is quoting are Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. So, if you don't believe the strongest hadiths that relate to the Quran, by the way, that have direct reference to the Quran, by the way. Okay. So you are not Sunni anymore. You are not Sunni anymore. So now that you know the truth, you deluded idiots, that you don't even have the audacity to make a simple Google search, and you believe Daniel Haqiqatjou because he said so. What now? Will you stop being Muslims now that you know the truth? Of course not. You are deluded idiots. Anyway, let's continue.
To delivering revelations promoting polytheism. I mean, where do you see that in the prophet? Someone delivers a revelation, promotes polytheism, comes back later and says, the devil made me do it.
Wait, the satanic verses is weak reports in the Quran. Weak reports in the Quran and Sahih hadiths. The satanic verses are weak reports. This is what you just said. Okay. What can we say? Okay, what can we say about you? What can we say? You are just brain dead, deluded idiots. Okay. How else can I express that without insulting you? What I'm saying now is an understatement. Okay. You are much more than deluded idiots. Okay. Please continue.
Towards them. In Matthew 5, Jesus says, you have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. We can see how this command to love even our enemies, combined with the biblical teaching that all human beings are created in the image of God, influenced early Christian thought. In Romans 12, the Apostle Paul says, if possible, so far as it depends on you, be at peace with everyone. If your enemy is hungry, feed him, and if he is thirsty, give him a drink. In 1 Corinthians 16, he says, let all that you do be done in love. In 1 Thessalonians 3, he says, may the Lord cause you to increase and abound in love for one another and for all people. The author of Hebrews in Hebrews 12 says, pursue peace with all people. In 1 Peter 2, the Apostle Peter tells us to honor all people. So whether you are Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, agnostic, young, old, white, black, straight, gay, trans, whatever, you are created in the image of God. And Christians are commanded to love and respect you based on our shared nature and the love of God.
Respect. I'm really feeling
That yes, Islam.
What? Now they doubt. Now they doubt. Okay, that is, guys, basic Christian theology. Now you doubt. So, before that, Daniel Haqiqatjou said insane nonsense. Supposedly, those are not in Islam. Basic Islamic theology from the Quran and Sahih Hadith. Then you believed him. Although you just needed 5 seconds Google to understand that he is lying to you. But now, when David Wood is just saying the most basic Christian theology, undeniable Christian theology, now you doubt. You are brain dead, deluded idiots. Okay, young Muslims, what's your name? What's the name of you? I cannot remember right now. You are brain dead, deluded idiots. That's why you are Muslims. Okay, simple.
Islam has violence, and Islam is not tolerant of every belief and way of life. And that's a good thing, as I'll explain. Instead, this is what we read in the Bible about Moses. In Numbers 31, verse 14 to 18 of the Bible, we read, "And Moses was angry with the officers of the army. Moses said to them, 'Have you let all the women live? Now kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known man by lying with him. But all the young girls who have not known man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Kill all the women and children, but keep the virgin girls for yourselves as sex slaves.'" That's what the Bible claims Moses said. So I want to ask David Wood, do you think that Moses was an evil, bloodthirsty man? Are you going to denounce
Rami and the other dude, I cannot remember now his name. You deluded retards. Okay, you retards. Okay, I know what I'm saying. I know how this word is not supposed to be said. But you deluded retards. You deluded retards. Okay. Daniel Haqiqatjou wants to bring the Old Testament in the modern world. Let me repeat that. And let me try to say that in simple words so you can understand. You won't understand because you are retards. But anyway, let's try to repeat that. Daniel Haqiqatjou wants to bring the Old Testament in the modern world. He admitted in this debate that he wants to bring Mosaic law in the modern world. So, when you feel disgusted, that is what Daniel Haqiqatjou wants to do. In contrast, you deluded retards, Christianity doesn't want to bring Old Testament laws in the modern world. Christian theology has nothing to do with the Old Testament. Okay, the Old Testament are just stories meant to make a contrast, apocalyptic stories meant to make a contrast for the coming of Jesus. This is what God did in the primordial state. Okay. Christian theology has nothing to do with the Old Testament, killing babies, genocide. Okay. Do you understand now? You deluded idiots. You are supporting the person who advocates what you are now feel disgusted about. You are supporting the person who is advocating what you are feeling disgusted about. Okay. And you are against the person who doesn't want to do that. That is what's happening right now.
Moses in this debate? Because I don't see how you can denounce the Prophet Muhammad when you have the example of Moses getting angry because his soldiers are not killing enough women and children. There's nothing like that in the Quran or Hadith or in the Islamic tradition more broadly. The fact of the matter is, when we look at the content of Mosaic law in the Old Testament, it contains stoning, it contains expansionist war, it contains destroying the idols of pagan religions, it contains slavery, it contains all the things that Christians criticize Islam for.
So I have a quiz for you, you little explorers, you little small Einsteins. Who is advocating for Old Testament? The things you are disgusted, you idiots. Who is advocating those? Daniel Haqiqatjou just said the Old Testament has stonings, genocide, and Christians criticize Islam for having those. So who is standing for these things? You deluded idiots that you cannot even understand what you see in front of you. You are supporting an ISIS person. You deluded radical Islamists. Okay. Socrates said, my friends, there are no evil people there in this world. There are only idiots. You are a bright example of what he said. You are not evil. You are good, young But you are idiots, my friend. You are idiots. Brain dead. Zero thinking. And, okay. The sound of your brain is clinically dead. Clinically dead.
And it even goes beyond Islam in advocating killing women and children. So if Islam, Muhammad, and the Quran are evil,
Look what he just said. He said, and it goes even more than Islam. So, what he said before is Islam. Stoning, genocide, killing. Islam just not, according to Daniel Haqiqatjou, Islam just doesn't kill children and women. All the other, he admitted. Genocide, stonings, killings, offensive jihad, slavery. All the other he admitted. Islam just doesn't kill women and children, according to Daniel Haqiqatjou. That's the difference with the Old Testament. Yet, that's evil Islam. In contrast, Jesus Christ. Okay. Now, compare that Islam with the majesty of Jesus Christ. And you stand with Islam, not with Jesus Christ. What can I say, my friend? What can I say? In other words, you're standing with a devil and you're rejecting Jesus Christ. The contrast, my friend, is so staggering. It's so staggering that you need such a spiritual blindness to not see this. Only Islam can make this kind of spiritual blindness. It cannot happen any other way. So it's a mental condition. That's not rationality. This is a mental disease. Okay. Islam is blocking your mind and your heart. Okay. So that's the danger of this evil mental disease.
because of these practices, then Mosaic law, Moses, and the Old Testament are at least as evil. Standard. But the problem gets even worse for.
I don't know how someone can get destroyed by Sheikh Uthman ibn Farouk, Muhammad Hijab, and still not just give up, bro.
Yeah, it's called 10K on Patreon a month. That's what it's called.
So
all doing it for the money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. He makes $10,000 lying and making a fool of himself. Basically, he's like a full-time clown. Basically, man runs a circus. Subhanallah.
What are your thoughts, bro?
I mean, this is all he has to do. He has to quote weak ahadith that are spirit debated, ahadith that are not qata'i.
The silence of the lamps. What can we say, my friend? What can we say? What can we say? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Okay. And that's exactly my prediction. What was my prediction? What did I say before the debate? That Haqiqatjou can do anything. He can literally pull his pants down, and these idiots will claim he won the debate. You idiots. Okay. Did you see Haqiqatjou quoting any Islamic sources? You say it's weak hadith. Sahih Bukhari. The Quran. the Quran is weak. In contrast, you misrepresent Christianity. You say Christianity is the Old Testament. How you go to that conclusion? David Wood quoted from the Bible verses. Anyway, now I'm talking like I'm talking to people. You are donkeys. Okay, so it's why should? Of course, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for the people. Okay, but guys, it's when these people talk, it's unbearable. It's unbearable. It's unbearable. Okay, how else can I explain this? I cannot, guys. Imagine I can continue and destroy them completely, but it's unbearable. It's not fun. It's not fun anymore. They talk and I feel shivers in my spine. I want to pull out my hair. When they talk, I want to. So, let me just sing a karaoke. Yeah. Guys, seriously, I cannot continue this video. That's how much what they are saying annoys me. Okay, so let me sing a karaoke. I know that you... by the way, whoever doesn't like my karaoke can stop the video. I'm doing it just for me because I enjoy singing. Anyway, let's go. Love. Oh, darling, we are not. Trust is the word the love is known, the glorious arts of staining souls. My darling, we are not the ones to blame. The more we have, the more we want, and the more it hurts our hearts. My baby, it always ends up in tears. So keep on pretending our heavens walk the waiting. Keep on pretending it's alright. Oh, so keep on pretending it will be the end of our craving. Keep on pretending it's alright. Oh, come on. When it arrives, the game begins, the one we will never, ever win. My baby, it always ends up in tears. So keep on pretending our heavens walk the way. Keep on pretending it's alright. So keep on pretending it will be the end of our craving. Keep on pretending it's alright. Oh, come on. So keep on pretending our heavens walk the way. Keep on pretending it's alright. So keep on pretending it will be the end of the baby. pretending it's alright. Love is a blame that can be tamed. We always willing pray, I darling. We are not the ones to blame. Amen.